Before we came on air, I spoke from one of our BBC radio studios to Margarita Simonyan on the telephone. She is editor-in-chief of the state-run RT News channel and the woman who interviewed the men named as Alexander Petrov and Ruslan Boshirov. I began by asking her how she'd found them for the interview.
I didn't. They called me. You might have seen that Putin, the president of Russia, that very morning, he had a press conference somewhere at some forum, and he was asked a question about them. And he said something like, we know who these people are, we checked them, there's nothing criminal there, and if I were them, I would have called some media organization and came out to the light. It's not literally, but he said something of the kind.
And that obviously encouraged them to do that. Then they thought that was the thing to do. Okay.
Exactly. That's what they told me. They told me that they heard Putin saying that, and they decided that they were going to reach us out. And obviously they know Russia Today and RT, and they know me because in Russia I'm quite a media person. I'm always on TV and everywhere, and people know me.
Right. Well, in this terrible Novichok attack, Don Sturgis died as a result of the attack, and 4 people were seriously ill in comas for a long time. And the Prime Minister, Theresa May's spokesman today said the lies and blatant fabrications in this interview given to a Russian state-sponsored TV station are an insult to the public's intelligence. What's your response to that?
Well, unfortunately, we have had quite a history of foreign leaders and especially foreign secret services lying to the whole world. If you just remember Iraq War, that tells us a lot. So that taught us not to believe Theresa May or special services of any kind, unfortunately. Having said that, I don't have any reasons to believe these people either. But I have even less reasons to believe British secret services.
But did you put to them the police's assertion that there was traces of Novichok found in their hotel bedroom?
I asked them if they had Novichok on them or any other poison on them or any, at least a bottle of perfume that the British police are saying that they had. And they said, no, that's a lie.
Now, when they were in Salisbury, they said to you that they wanted to see the cathedral, they wanted to look at the historic town, and they said that they had pictures of Salisbury Cathedral. Did they show you their pictures of Salisbury Cathedral?
No, and we had a conversation before the interview, and they said that they had several conditions on which they were ready to give that interview. And one of the conditions was that no questions would be asked that would allow the media to track their acquaintances or their business partners or their relatives or their classmates or whomever.
I don't quite understand how it would involve their relatives or their friends or their business colleagues if they actually showed you the pictures of Salisbury Cathedral, presumably dated, that they claim to have taken.
They actually told me that if they found those pictures, they would send it to me through WhatsApp, through a messenger. So I'm still waiting. They didn't have them on them.
Now tell me, as a journalist, did you believe their story?
As a journalist, and having worked as a reporter for almost 20 years now, for more than 20 years now, I only believe what I see with my own eyes. I saw with my own eyes that they do look completely like the people on the video that was released by the British police. So for that matter, I do believe they are those people. But as far as the story goes, I don't have any reasons to believe them. I don't know them. I haven't spent life with them. They're not my friends. But I have no more reasons to believe secret services who have been lying previously.
But I wonder now that you've had this interview, what you're doing to pursue the story. Are you still in touch with them? They said they would send you evidence that they actually were at Salisbury Cathedral.
I tried to call them on the phone from which they called me, and it has been out of coverage ever since.
So,
They said that if they found those pictures, they would send them to me, so I'm waiting. The phone is not responding.
did you ask them why? Did you ask them if they would come back to the UK and make statements?
They said that they completely realized that they cannot leave Russia probably for the rest of their lives.
But do they not feel that if they came back, they could come back to clear their name? Would that not be something that they should do if they think that they actually could clear their names?
I don't think anybody in Russia would believe such a story.
Doesn't the manner of this interview concern you, and the fact that doesn't it just reinforce the idea that RT is a propaganda tool for the Russian state?
You did watch the interview, didn't you?
Oh, I watched the interview.
Did you see my face? Did you see the tone? You probably don't speak Russian.
I don't speak Russian, but I also looked at the
skeptical.
transcript.
Yeah. And the questions were quite obviously hard for them and made them nervous. And at some point, they even said something like, "We came here, we thought you would support us, and you behave like we were at the investigation in a court." And I said, "Well, I'm not here to support you. I'm not your advocate. I'm a journalist. I don't know why you would say that. Your question seems completely inobjective to me right now. Your question to me seems like a typical Western propaganda because of which people actually watch RT."
And one last point.
Nothing like what you're saying it was. Nothing like.
One
Thank
last
you very
question.
much.
One last question. You actually looked at the footage of the two men in... Margarita Simonyan, are you still there? I think she's gone.